Business happens over beer. Some of our best relationships have been strengthened in a less formal, more comfortable environment over a pint or two. Let's face it, business is really about relationships, and at the end of the day, those are strengthened by casual and often more honest conversations that happen in that environment. So that's what our aim is for Tales and Ales, to bring local business people together to share stories of success and failure over a tasty brew.
Perfect timing. Welcome to Freeport. Woo-hoo!
So my name is Don Littlefield. I'm the general manager of the Maine Brew Bus, a co-founder of the aforementioned Mass Brew Bus.
I'll be with you the whole time. We'll be bringing you back to Brunswick as well. So, welcome to Maine Beer Company.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a quick history of Maine Beer Company and kind of how we do things and why we do things the way we do it. The company was founded by Daniel and David Kleban back in 2009. We started in a tiny little garage. We were the first brewery on Industrial Way across from Allagash. Rising Tide moved in right after us, and we were kind of the first two to get that little scene started, having no idea what we would grow into this space we thought was the last space we were ever going to need, and we'll get into it later, but now you'll see the big dirt pit out back. It's not the last space we ever needed, it turns out.
All right, next up we have Joel Alex, who is the chief decision maker for Blue Ox Malt House.
Who here kind of knows what malt is? It's okay if you don't. All right, so I should start there, right? So malt is basically the grain ingredient that goes into beer. You can kind of think of it as being to beer what flour is to bread. It's a processed grain ingredient. The process of malting can be applied to any grain, barley, wheat, rye, just like milling into flour can be.
We are excited to have three business leaders from here in Brunswick Landing speaking to us this evening. Paul Drappy from here at Wayfarer, Jamie Pacheco from New Beat Market. The other is Nate Wilds, who is one of the co-owners here at Flight Deck Brewing. I want to start off by introducing the chef for the evening, who's the head chef over at New Beat Market, Elida Belcher.
So the course you're enjoying right now is an herbed buttered crostini with thinly sliced roast beef. It's a Sub Hunter Gorgonzola cheese sauce, a couple colored tomatoes, some chives from our garden.
At the end of the day, Wayfair's success has really been contingent on having a culture of collaboration. We even in the physical layout, nobody has an office. The two founders have sat out on the floor with everybody else since day one, and it really encouraged us to share ideas, work together, and collaborate.
But we really wanted to buy our food locally because that means that our neighbors, the farmers and the producers and the distributors, the people that we know from down the street make a living. It means that when I spend $1 on food that I serve people, 95 cents of that dollar stays in the state of Maine and then gets spent with another Maine family and another Maine worker and another Maine worker.
We hosted about 6 Icelandic breweries for Iceland's largest beer festival ever. We sold 1,200 tickets up to that day, which was about twice the number that we had originally hoped for, and then twice that actually showed up. So they had to figure out how to sell that many tickets at the door. Ran out of wristbands. It was unbelievable. And so they calculated quite literally that just under 1% of Iceland's population showed up. So 1% of Iceland drank Maine beer last Saturday. And yeah, cheers to that, right? It's pretty outstanding.
So thanks for joining us for our third and final Tales and Ales event for the season with Midcoast Edge. I'd like to start by thanking our gracious host, Frontier, for having us here tonight. We're excited to have a variety of beer industry leaders here tonight. Matt Albright, who is the owner of River Drive Cooperage and Millwork down in Buxton. Ian, who is the president of Mass Landing Brewing Company down in Westbrook. And then we're going to finish with Vacation Land Distributors, Jim O'Brien, who's the owner there.
And I was quick to learn that you can fail every single day for 365 days. You can fail every single day over and over again, and it doesn't get any worse than failing. When you fail, you fail. There's really no worse than failing, but you only need to succeed once. And the same goes, I got very used to hearing no.
Kelly and I had our first child, Tommy, and about a month after that, I went up to her and said, I'm quitting my job tomorrow, and I'm going to start a brewery. and that went over about how you would imagine.
We sell beer, and to boil it down to its essence, we take beer and connect it to the spots that can get rid of it quickly in ways that make sense.